The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
And we are back to school, baby. Woo! Welcome back, Steve Dangle Podcast. Welcome back, CJ Show. Welcome back, Noxie and Cax. Welcome back. Well, Jesse Blake Sports Report never left. It left.
We left late July. Came back late August.
Yeah, it's been pumping episodes about just lighting Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s season on fire.
Oh my
Here
God.
you are.
Yeah,
I just like to see some effort out of my Toronto sports heroes. you know?
I've been watching them a lot of August. They're joyless.
Hey guys, is it good to pimp a single?
Did he pimp a single?
He pimped a single because the ball. He pimped what he thought was a home run, and then it hit off the wall, and he was stuck on first base because he didn't hustle. But then he got to second because the team they're playing sucks, and they had a throwing error.
That was the Rockies thing,
So,
right?
yeah, that was
I
versus
saw
the
that
Rockies.
too.
I was
on
getting
the
mad
weekend.
yesterday. I was like, can you not blow 2 different 3-run leads against the Oakland Athletics, please?
Who are moving because they're so terrible.
They're
Yeah.
moving. Even my mother-in-law was over, and she's like, there's no one there. And no, there was no one there.
There was no. Well, by the way, Oakland fans are. It's interesting seeing what's going on in Oakland because they've lost all their teams, and the Athletics are the last one to go. And the fans staged a protest earlier this year where they sold out
Where they
the
went.
ballpark, where they actually went, and they're like, "This is what it should be. This is what it could be."
And
But
the reason they're losing their teams is for the right reason. Because the government of Oakland refuses to pay for stadiums.
Good.
Refuse to do public funding for these new stadiums.
Good.
All the owners, all the billionaires are like, no, we don't want to pay for our stadiums. We're going to go to towns where they will pay for it.
Where they will.
So
where are they going?
Las Vegas.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the city of Oakland is doing the right thing. It's just a shame for the fans that they have a terrible owner.
What is it like being a resident of Las Vegas right now? Hi, you have no sports. Oh, sorry, I meant you have all of them.
Well,
all of them in every league always.
And you have a championship already under your belt. Bill Foley, I was thinking about that this summer.
2.
Bill Foley, 2. You're right. That's a good point. Bill Foley was interesting because he kind of got in there before anybody really did in terms of like the old Big Four. I don't even believe in the Big Four professional sports anymore, but the old Big Four that we would have grown up with. He beat NBA in there. He beat the NFL in there. He beat baseball in there. And I don't know that it's going to be as easy. I'm sure the fans will show up. I don't know if it's going to be as easy for fans to show up in the way or love these new teams the way that they love the Golden Knights. Just because there's something really special about being first in the door.
Forgive my ignorance, but you know what seems like a miserable experience? Going to an outdoor baseball game in Las Vegas.
I'm sure that they will have it covered.
Please tell me they have.
Not based on the renderings. It's all outside.
That-
It's going to be horrific.
That sounds like a really stupid,
Isn't it like
shitty
50
idea.
degrees?
I hope they throw a cover on it because Arizona, Texas, they know about this.
Houston's got it covered.
Well, no, Texas is outside.
Is.
They're all outside too.
In
They're building
Arlington.
a new one. Yeah,
Yeah.
in Arlington. But yeah, they know it gets to plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
No,
It's too hot.
no, just simply no.
You know what?
No.
It would be kind of cool if an arena figured out how to have cool seats. Like if you got one of those fancy upgraded cars and you get the cool air conditioned seats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
How
yeah.
much could 20,000 of those cost? I don't know. Get the taxpayer to pay for them.
40,000.
Take me out to the me.
You know who would pay for that? Jerry Jones. If they could,
Yeah.
if they could do that, they'd have it in Cowboys.
This is
Stadium.
America's butt.
But with the Vegas Golden Knights, they love them because they're the homegrown team.
Yeah.
They're not the same as the Las Vegas Raiders. That's Oakland's team that they brought over, and I feel like it'll be the same with the Athletics. If they
Agreed.
bring them over, they're not going to be the homegrown team. But basketball, they're going to go to 32 teams. It's going to be Seattle and Vegas. So there's the template for the same vibe as the Golden Knights.
I'm excited for basketball to be back in Seattle. I was there this summer for a wedding, and Seattle's such a great city. It's so cool. It's such a cool place. I hope they bring back the Sonics branding, and I hope they bring back the color scheme.
Nope.
I hope it's green and gold.
Nope.
Baby.
They own it in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, give them.
That is their team.
Give them none of the history back. That is what makes sense and is good.
They get
And
all the
everyone
records.
wants.
That's their team.
You know, in Oklahoma, they're passionate about the history of the Seattle Supersonics.
I'm sure
See how fucking
Winnipeg.
stupid that sounds.
I'm sure Winnipeg
Stop it!
wants all those Arizona Coyotes records. But-
They do. They do.
I think most of the Coyotes records are still Jets records.
Yeah.
They want the Avco
Yeah.
Cup banner.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Today is back to school for those parents in the audience too.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So Leo, obviously,
a year away,
but he's always in daycare.
Yes.
Like he's always in, because you guys work and, have to go in and pick him up, whatever. But I want to tell you quickly.
What if I was like, oh shit.
Where is he?
I hope that's a really long episode of Blippi.
I left the gate to the pool open.
No. I woke up one night and was like, I should check.
Did you check?
Yeah, of course.
And it was fine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
That was a weird way that you framed it, Adam. You said it's back to school for all the parents listening. Like,
Well,
kids who are going back to school aren't also listening.
So if we were...
kids who go to university don't listen to the show?
So when we were in the radio, I would say to the parents and kids, but I don't think that there's a lot of I meant like the younger kids, like the youngins.
I think school ranges from 4 to however old you want to go to school.
Yeah, but I didn't finish the old school stuff. I finished to high school, and I said that's enough of that, and that's as far as I got.
Anybody going to school.
That's that. Yeah. So
Adam
anybody
doesn't care about you.
I do want to tell you though about Everly dropping Everly off for first day kindergarten because it was first off her school was built in 1912, so it's old. And it's huge. And
what are some of the things that happened in 1912?
No, Titanic sank.
I know. There's some bad jokes we can make.
But it's like this huge Victorian-looking cave, this huge school, and it's old, and obviously there's no central air.
She should
whatever.
be in a structure, Adam. This seems negligent.
It's crazy. So we had to drop her off. Like each class has their teachers, and they're holding up numbers for like what doors they go in or whatever, and what class she was in, and so she's amped. She's really excited. If you don't know, my daughter is extremely social, like very chatty, loves to tell stories. None of them go anywhere, but that's okay. We're working on them. We got the beginning started with the middle and the end. We got to finish stronger.
Good manners.
Okay? Good manners and happy and excited. So she is just buzzing in line, getting ready to go play with these new schoolmates that she's going to have. And just as we get to the gate where they're letting a student in at a time, making sure that they're all checked off with the parents and everything, you start to hear the kids that are not ready or not excited that their parents are leaving. And they say specifically in the TDSB form, make sure your goodbye is quick. Get out of there. No long goodbyes because you got to rip the Band-Aid off.
That's a problem of mine.
And
it was.
Oh, it was?
It was.
Really?
It stops being your problem real fast.
If you move.
Yeah, well, no, like you just go through it once and you're like, well, that was shit. Let's not do that again. And then you leave.
Yeah. So Everly is sort of listening to this, and she's not like, it's not throwing her mood. She's just not as buzzy as she was, maybe 10 steps before. And all of a sudden, and I kid you not, it's like a prison break. These two kids who are screaming see that the gate opens up to let one child in, and there's two of them, and they bolt. They bolt. No, they're in the pen with all the other students.
Oh, they bolt out,
and they boot it to the street to go after their parents. Yeah, because it's not that far, and so they're like, it's like they're just fucking huffing it. I couldn't believe how fast these kids were, and the teacher doesn't know what to do. She's just standing at the gate like, I can't leave the kids. No, they can't leave the kids.
Sorry, I may or may not have heard one of these conversations.
Did you help?
Before.
No, I didn't know what to do either. They're not my kids.
Track down the children.
So they found their parents, and their parents walked them back. And these kids are like just apoplectic. And what they were doing when we left was there was one kid in the standing, and then these two kids were crying and running around this one kid. It was like, and it's like, because humans are weird. We get socialized into being what we consider normal, but like kids are our wildest versions of ourselves. And I was like, man, to your wife and to everybody that has to do kindergarten today, my goodness, good luck to you.
Leo was bawling because we discovered an episode of Blippi that was about Liverpool FC.
Oh.
And he watched it, and he wanted to watch it again. Bawling. Dragging him out of the house, kicking and screaming. And you know what fixed the issue?
What?
The recycling guys stacked the bins a little funny, and he pointed at it and noticed it, and he forgot why he was upset.
That's funny.
That's a 3-year-old right there.
Love that. Yeah. Are you in the meltdown stages, like where it's like, I'm not gonna just cry, I'm gonna scream and pound the ground and all that?
We kind of already had it.
Okay. It's good when that's over.
He's pretty mature in the regard where he just kind of goes, it's not working. It's not working. I'm going to stop. I can spend my energy differently.
Yeah.
Adam, is Everly's best friend in her kindergarten class? That little boy who's a terror?
Oh, Luca, who used to push her? Man.
Is he in her school?
No, he's not. She went to daycare outside of our school zone. So she's going to make all new friends. But I was thinking today, like, some of the friends that you make on that first day of school are your friends 30 years later.
Sometimes.
It's wild. I went to a different kindergarten than my grade school, so that wasn't the case for me. But, I've had a friend since grade 1, and I'm 35. It's a long time.
I have friends from kindergarten.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? So they're meeting those people today. Those people could be like at their wedding. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, are you looking at them like, no, not that one.
No, please not that. I don't want to deal with those parents. I don't want to play date with those parents.
It's a nose picker.
What generation is Everly?
One demerit point.
I don't know what they call them.
What did they have a name?
Alpha.
They must.
Is it
Alpha?
Gen
Gen
Alpha?
Alpha.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure won't go to any of their heads at all.
What about Gen Chad? Is there a Gen Chad and Gen Beta?
Gen Tate.
Gen Soy Boy?
Gen Get Swole.
I like
Gen Toxic.
I like it.
Just,
listen, I've been collecting some links this summer. Just some stuff I wanted to talk about. Do you guys want to roll through it? Or Jesse,
Ooh,
I know,
do it.
Jesse, you want to talk about Dixie D'Amelio at some point.
No, her and Trevor Zegras might be dating.
Which is kind of cool. Good for Trev.
yeah.
He's also like, there's a star quality there. When the Ducks are good eventually.
No, it's a duck quality.
I get it.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah, I
Maddie
get
was
it.
saying Dixie D'Amelio, so 2021. So we shouldn't even talk about it. It's irrelevant.
Yeah. D'Amelio
Yeah.
family is
no,
irrelevant?
the D'Amelios fell off, right?
So, why did
Yeah.
they fall off? Was it they tried to do other things? Because they
Yeah,
were hanging
remember-
out with like Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian.
yeah, the reality show flopped hard. Like they tried to do the Keeping Up with Kardashians of the D'Amelios, and nobody cared.
Which TikTok family mom dated that rapper from TikTok?
That was her.
No.
Oh,
Was that
yeah,
Addison Rae's mom?
Addison Rae's mom.
Addison Rae's mom dated Young Gravy.
Young
Or no,
Gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah, went
Gravy?
with
Yeah.
him to an award show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I know this?
Yes.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
Young
Thank you for
Gravy.
correcting me,
is-
Steve.
Even the way I said it like I'm wearing white New Balances on a freshly cut lawn. Oh, that Young Gravy. They call him Gravy Swayze, I'm told. Horrible. Horrible.
So I want to talk about Matvei Michkov.
Oh my
There's a whole bunch of drama below the surface here.
Do you know Steve used to work in the KHL?
I hadn't heard them.
Horrible.
I don't think it's gotten any better, if I'm being honest.
I think it's gotten significantly worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't imagine if I was working for them now.
So
Holy shit.
Matvei Michkov, if you don't know, is an SKA player. That's one of the top clubs. Always has been. Always will be. They have the most money.
Arguably more money than any hockey team in the world, including the Leafs.
And they're out of St. Petersburg.
Yes.
And St. Petersburg, if you don't know, is sort of like everybody talks about Moscow because it's the capital, but St. Petersburg is the old capital. It's the cultural center. It's a very cool place to live. Always sort of has been. Given there's a war going on right now, things like that have changed, but it's a very desirable place if you're going to play in the KHL. A lot of players want to play in St. Petersburg. Now, he was loaned to Sochi last year. He got 20 points in 27 games in the K.
Which is
A big deal, right?
extraordinary. Like for a teenager to even get the ice time. Like if he had played how many games?
27.
To even play 27 games and put up 4 or 5 points would be extraordinary in the KHL.
Point
And
of game
that's-
players are pretty rare in the KHL, right?
And at that age, basically unheard of.
Right.
Extremely, extremely rare. So for him to get 20 in 27,
Yeah.
extremely, extremely rare. Go look at Ovechkin's stats from, he would have been the Russian Super League. It wasn't the KHL yet, but he had 18 goals in his draft year. And everyone was like, this guy's going to be a friggin' monster. And you look at the numbers and you're like, I don't understand.
But it's all grading on a curve, right?
Yeah, it's just not an offensive league.
So
It's not a league that gives a shit about its young talent.
no, it
In
doesn't.
4 years at Moscow Dynamo, Ovechkin had 2 goals in 21 games, 8 in 40, 13 and 53 and 13 and 37.
But
Wow.
even the 4 points in 21 games. So he was drafted 2004. So to put that up in 0102, like to even be in those 21 games is psychotic. Like I don't know.
Yeah, how
I
old-
don't know how he got
In
in the
2001, he's like
lineup. I don't know, like 16.
15? Yeah, 15,
Like,
16.
Yeah, no, like that's madness. And I was wrong. He didn't even have. He had 13 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, madness.
So this year it makes sense that they're not going to loan him out to Sochi. They're going to keep him, right? They want to keep him on the roster. He's been drafted. He was he's seventh by the Flyers.
Top 10.
And obviously people are very excited about this player. But he's not being played. Now, the preseason, he looked pretty good. He had 5 points in 6 games. So this, again, teenager, this is incredible. I know it's the preseason, but still. But if you don't already know, there's always a little bit of resentment towards players that want to leave the KHL from the KHL. They treat players differently as soon as they want to go. If you'll remember, who was the defenseman the Leafs signed out of the KHL? Ozhiganov was considered a very good defenseman by KHL standards and almost did not play as soon as it was even rumored that he had signed with the Leafs at the end of the season.
That was the problem. It was basically known he was going to leave.
Yeah.
Sorry, what I'm trying to look up right now. Yeah, there it is. So it's not even just that Michkov is being... Or no, I don't think you've gotten there yet.
No, I haven't got there
No,
yet.
you know what? Get there. Get there.
So-
Sorry, my bad.
So Cam
It's
Robinson
significant.
was the one that sort of kicked this off. St. Petersburg is kicking off their KHL this season today. Matvei Michkov is a healthy scratch. And Ivan Demidov, who is a highly ranked prospect, is the 13th forward, meaning that he's not going to play very much.
But he
did
has
play
played 2 games.
He has played 2 games. So that was the first game he played 8-28 with a shot on goal. Not bad. And then played again. By the way, SKA St. Petersburg's top center. Can you name it?
Ooh.
Guess. Just a
I
wild,
was just looking at their
wild
hockey
guess.
DB too. Their top. It's not Semyon Duragachintsev.
It's
is it?
not.
Oh.
It is a
he's-
former Leaf, though.
I was going to... No.
What's his nationality?
Russian.
Russia.
I'm trying to think of Russian centers the Leafs have had. It's not Petri Conciola.
It's not Patrick Contiola.
Is he old?
I would say he's middle-aged for hockey standards.
Like 30?
Yeah.
Who the
30-year-old Russian center on the Leafs? I don't know.
He didn't play center for the Leafs, if that helps.
Defenseman. That's just a goalie.
I have no idea, man.
Alex Galchenyuk.
Oh, no
way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't
know he signed
not
that.
even heard he signed that.
Didn't know either.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's playing. And again, Michkov did not play. I know it's weird. I just thought that was a weird stat. There was no reason to bring that Galchenyuk up, but I just thought it was cool.
Well, a lot of people did think they would be playing together this year.
The coach
But,
for St. Petersburg is always interesting because it's a political appointment more times than not. And in this case, it seems to be that way, although this person's been involved in the executive level of hockey. His name is Roman Rottenberg, and he is the son of a Putin ally. You
don't say.
Yeah, weird, right? He's been involved with Gazprom, which is Gazprom is like one of their major natural gas exporters. But he's also been he was part of the original plan for the KHL. This guy helped develop the KHL and into what it is. So he's a business mind. He's done a bunch of executive stuff. If you go through, he was, his big claim to fame was that in 2018, when I think Russia won the gold medal at the Olympics for hockey, he was one of the executives, part of that group. But he's never had any sort of ice level experience ever.
Who is this?
Roman Rottenberg.
Oh, the head coach. Yeah, yeah.
And he is now coaching the biggest franchise in the KHL.
It's like if Ted Lasso was a dick.
Yeah,
That's what it
And
sounds like.
appointed by the government that's not upstanding.
It's
Nepo baby Ted Lasso.
It's like if the United States or the Canadian government had Gary Bettman coach the New York Rangers. Like that's what we're talking about here, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's weird. So a lot of fans are not thrilled about this. It's going to be interesting to watch. He's going to get ice time.
Might not.
No, he's not.
No. Like,
Do they
What
send him down?
evidence is there to
he's
suggest-
right now. He's not the 13th best forward on the team, and
But
he's
he
getting
is
healthy scratch.
But he is though.
No. He should be playing. He's
should be
better
playing.
than a lot of these players.
Sorry,
he
yes.
should be in the lineup right now.
Yes.
So if he's not in the lineup for the first 2 games of the season, we don't know if they're ever going to play him because they should be playing him right now, and they are not because of spite.
Now, is one of those links Ivan Fedotov?
It's gotta be. It's the same organization.
I wondered if that played into this. They're saying Fedotov is going to be able to come over.
Well. So here's what has happened as I understand it. Ivan Fedotov wanted to come to the NHL, and he was basically abducted and told, no, you can't do that. And there was that weird video in the ambulance that we never got a satisfactory answer to. And he was in the military, apparently.
In the
allegedly, sort of.
Baltic Navy. Can you imagine being in the Navy in the fucking Baltic?
No fucking thanks. And now he's going to come back and he's going to be in the KHL. The problem is the IIHF made a ruling and they were like, well, no, you can't do that. And the NHL and the KHL have had a very reluctant and begrudging agreement for a number of years where a player who is under an NHL contract will not break his NHL contract to go to the KHL, and a player with a KHL contract will not break their KHL contract to go to the NHL. So, for example, I have heard of players with a KHL year remaining on their contract wanting to go to the NHL, using their own money and buying themselves out of that final year of the deal to come to the NHL.
Yep.
And then also not make the team. Kind
That
of
happened
sucks.
with the Leafs.
It did.
Yeah.
Petri Conciola. But now with Ivan Fedotov, that deal is what the KHL has said what the KHL has said with their actions is this binding agreement is worthless. So if a player were to leave their KHL team right after practice and join, fly overseas and join the NHL, there's no problem. There's no problem. If you're the NHL, what's other than being conflict averse, there's no reason to not do it.
Sure.
Unless you're worried about the safety of the players because it's literally a tyrannical sociopath at the head of that government. And now you're seeing why this is actually a huge story.
Right. Exactly. And it's funny because, is Michkov in the top 5 if this isn't the case? Yeah. Is he in the top 3?
Top 2.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
might go ahead of Carlson and Fantilli.
He's been a topic of conversation on Habs Twitter all summer long. People are still pissed that they didn't take him. And
They're pissed now?
They're pissed now
yeah.
even.
Still?
Well, actually, you know why
Look
they're
what's
pissed
going
now?
on now.
Let me show you this.
Can't be
And
happy.
Reinbacher looks good.
Yeah.
Linebacker does look good.
I want to avoid this situation.
I'm going to send you a video. I picked this up from Habs Fan TV. They're a really good follow on if you want to know what's going on with Montreal Canadiens fans, and Habs on Reddit's another really good one. But this is interesting because the Montreal Canadiens do like a series that gives you a little bit of a behind the scenes about why they're making the decisions that they make. The access is actually really incredible, and I'm surprised as hockey fans it's not more widespread.
Well, I think it's because teams often release it and get killed because the
Yeah.
stuff they're saying is really stupid.
It's interesting because Habs fans are pissed about this because the insinuation is that they didn't want to. They talk a little bit about the skill that they could have gotten and why they didn't take it. And
I wonder how similar it's going to be to the Bruins Tyler Seguin conversation.
I wonder too. I want to see what you guys think. So let it fly, Jesse. Whenever you're ready to go.
When you pick 5, there's only so many chances an organization gets to add talent. It's very hard. You can't do it through free agency anymore, really. Getting older players and you have to pay them a lot of money, right? You pretty much have to draft or get lucky to get high-end talent now, right? And sometimes you take a chance, and so it seems as though this room has said, no, we don't want to try this chance. And I just want to make sure we're making the right decision.
Wow.
When you pick 5,
So is that not just a straight up acknowledgement that, listen, we're passing up on the better player here?
I think that's what that says.
Yeah, I think they made the right call.
You think so, huh?
Look how it's unfolding.
Well, that's just now.
Yeah.
What about 5 years from
Based
now?
on the information we have now, I think it's the right call. We'll see how it plays out in 5 years. Like, that could all change. How long is Michkov's contract with KHL?
I think it's another 2.
2 years? So he's going to be stuck
Well,
there.
this year and next.
Okay, so 2 years from now is like the first time he can
Not
come
necessarily.
He could
Not
just leave.
necessarily.
He could leave.
Everyone forget, like, Evgeny Malkin, and granted, this wasn't during a time of war, to my understanding, but Evgeny Malkin just took all his shit in the middle of the night. I think the team he was playing with was in another country, so that helped. And he got on a plane. People didn't know where he was, and then one day he turned up in a rink in the States.
Based on how this is unfolding 2 games into the season, it seems far more likely that they keep him and make him do this for 2 years.
It's not good. And you can see why the Habs made the decision they did, and you can see why the Flyers made the decision they did. I mean, holy shit, you have a chance to get this talent at 7? There's no...
I would also say this. I think the
no
Montreal
world.
Canadiens need to be better before the Flyers do.
Yeah,
Because
I would say that's fair.
how much, Montreal fans, and we don't know fully how the roster is going to construct itself, so we're not doing any season previews here. But if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, you must be looking at, okay, we had the Stanley Cup run year, we had the devastating next year where nobody played and everybody was injured and it was terrible, and we switched coaches halfway through and all that stuff. And then we had last year, which had some bright spots, but ultimately it was a bunch of young kids and
Everyone got hurt again.
yeah, but they need to start to show progress.
There needs to be a step here.
And
yeah.
Can they wait? As Jesse said, can they wait 2.5, 3 years for Michkov, who, listen, he's playing great in the KHL, seems like a surefire NHLer. But we've seen plenty of guys go in the top 10 that, maybe they're a half a point a game player. They're maybe not electrifying.
Adam, he's not playing great in the KHL.
He's not playing in the KHL.
playing.
What I'm saying is
He did, though.
He did, though, last year. So what I'm saying is, listen, chances are this guy's really, really good, but that's a hell of a chance to take for a time when most GMs do not last 5 years. You're drafting for the next guy, probably.
He was 4th on his team in scoring last year with 20 points in 27 games. 27 games. The 3 guys above him, 65, 56, and 55 games. This kid is a mutant.
Yeah.
And there's no scenario where he's not in an NHL lineup.
So do you think the
anywhere,
Canadiens made a mistake by not taking him, though, given their timeline versus Phillies?
Well, this is, I'm sure down the line when he's winning Hart trophies and putting on a Hall of Fame career, you can isolate this clip and make us look silly. But the reality of the situation is September 5th, 2023, it looks like his KHL team is going to hold him hostage for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're fucking with him.
Right. I think I think they made the wrong call.
Play in the U.S.
I think
it's relevant that it's the Flyers.
If you're drafting that high, you go for skill, and then you figure it out later. I like what Philadelphia did here. I think Montreal should have just taken the chance. But
Reinbacher looks
great.
They're so set.
And
they're so set for the future. Like, they're not there yet, but holy shit.
They're close.
I don't think anyone's denying that.
I think it's a lot of it's going to depend on
how
how Slavkovsky turns out.
I think he can be like kind of a disappointment and they'd still be good.
Right, but are they going to be great? The point is to be great.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The point is to be great. And it's not to be great this year. They want to be good this year.
Caulfield.
They got
Lane
some
Hudson.
pieces. I don't know. It's be an interesting one. I think that will be an interesting storyline to watch. And of course, the other thing is we forget that SKA fans want the team to win and they want to see the best players on the ice. So there is pressure there too. There are sports commentators that were like, why is, in Russia, you're not really allowed to speak out on certain things. But the sports commentators in Russia were like, who is this guy and why is he coaching this team? So I would say that they were actually quite out front about the fact that it's like, this is really, we know what's going on here.
Don't say that shit near an open window.
True. So, okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to switch gears. You guys both play a lot of Chell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What was your experience with NHL 23?
I played it significantly less than NHL 22.
Why? Is just Leo getting older, or?
No, Leo getting older freed up video game time.
Red Dead Redemption exists.
Red Dead Redemption exists. It was a busy year. It was difficult to get the boys together, but also it didn't take a step as a game.
Jesse, what were your thoughts?
On NHL 23?
Yeah.
I didn't have much. I thought there was a significant leap in the graphics department. So they have a new engine. It was called Frostbite engine. They implemented it for the first time on the next gen of consoles, the PS5.
I think they use that for Call of
that
Duty
was-
as well, Frostbite.
Yeah.
I thought that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but this, I thought this on NHL 23, you notice a significant uptick in the entire graphics package that NHL 22 had.
Okay.
Like, I think if you put them side to side, if you compare the gameplay, animations, and all the little things in the game, 23 was a big leap in terms of graphics from.
Steve, do you have a
22.
PS5?
I do now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I only got it recently.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
the thing, right? Is that Jesse
like
had one.
PS4 it's not even comparable anymore. Like, that's past generations is not even the same level.
All video games are very clearly not trying to make PS4 games good.
Of course.
Yeah. But that was the big thing I noticed in terms of a positive.
So I thought it was interesting because
Gameplay didn't change that much.
I haven't played the games for a while, and I find them repetitive. Like, I just find them to be repetitive, unless you're on like a team with a bunch of guys, and that seems like a lot of fun, right? Like, you've got your Dangle Navy team, and I loved playing with you guys when we get together, and like that's hilarious.
yeah.
But I think that would be the only reason I would play. And Jesse, I've sent you a video here. And this is if you're hardcore on Twitter in the middle of August, good for you. You've probably already seen this. But EA Sports NHL provided us an 8-minute update. It was the NHL 24 community update. I want you to start it at 1 minute into this. Sorry, actually 50 seconds in. They bring in 2 new developers. They've got guys they've got a kind of a new set of guys that are sort of running the show here. And there's a couple of clips in here that I want to talk about. Let's start at 50 seconds, Jess.
Yeah, so when we talk about community obsessed or community obsession, it's really about putting our players at the center, at the forefront of every conversation. And when it comes to looking back at the past, like NHL 23, we know it didn't live up to your expectations. We recognize that, and that's something we definitely are going to try and course correct with NHL 24. Wow. And there's a lot of different feedback that comes through the community,
So let's hold it
and
there
you
for a
collect a
second.
lot of it.
So I thought it was interesting that they came right out and said, after the first minute, which is just all intro and graphics, didn't live up to your expectations.
People aren't stupid.
No, they're not.
No, that's what drives me nuts about like whenever Bettman speaks. Like just once, I would like to hear him be like, you know what, we fell short here. But like he just gaslights the fans on a fairly regular basis. Like people aren't stupid. Like that's okay. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. Mm-hmm. Good job.
So you're into that, okay.
I'm into this.
I would want to know what the expectations from the community were for NHL 23, because I'm not that close in the NHL 23 community. I'd want to know what they fell short of.
Well, they do kind of talk about that a little bit, and it does harken back to some of the features that used to be there but disappeared. So let me ask you guys something. You've played NHL games since, Steve, we talked about playing NHL 99, right? Like we've played it forever and ever.
99 was the first one I had.
What feature, what do you want? What do you think most people, so I want to know what you want and what most people want out of a good NHL game.
Like this is a really minor thing, but I think it would change the game for so many people. In EASHL, allow it so that A, people can join you mid-game,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
B, you can have players on the bench.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be able to do that.
If my kid is freaking out, if my dog needs to be let in, if I got to go to the bathroom, if I got to take a phone call, if I got to do whatever, like our team has more than 6 people on it, right? So why can't we sit on the bench? It's not even necessarily about the gameplay in that regard. It's about the camaraderie and the community.
That's a really good idea.
Hanging out with it just feels like such an easy feature to implement.
Well, especially if you do career mode where you can watch the play anyway when you're on the bench.
Yes.
It already exists.
It exists within the game. Those animations, that ability, whatever that code is required to sit on a bench, you can do it.
Like, you know how cross console play wasn't enabled?
Yeah.
I saw a video during the summer where these NHL players found out how to do it. They like hacked it. They're like, all you have to do is go to this menu and that menu and exit and go back in, and then you can be a PlayStation person and play against Xbox people.
So we'll come back to that.
Yeah, now that's in the game.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that.
It was always in the game.
But
Right.
it wasn't
enabled.
was
easily.
always
It's like, did you guys ever do the thing, if you play the old WWE games, you could always like jailbreak your console and get into the NPC characters and play them as wrestlers?
Really?
Yeah, so like all the guys, like Jerry Lawler, you could, if he wasn't an NPC, if he wasn't a character in the game, like he was just an NPC, you can find some code and you can play him as a wrestler.
I love that.
Like all those
What
guys
a great
are
idea.
hidden, all
Why
those
wouldn't you
backstage guys.
Just have that.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love that. So I want you to pick this back up at 240, Jesse, but hang on. I would like to know what you would like most out of an NHL game. Like if you could add a feature like what Steve talked about, was there anything that kind of sticks out to you?
I think if you were trying to, because they want to sell the game every year.
Yeah.
Right? That's the idea.
The
They
new
wanna-
cycle
every year they come out with a new game, even though it's way too quick. They want to capitalize on the new season, have the roster updates with a whole new game. I think the easiest way to have people come back each and every year is to be able to port over your franchise mode to the next game.
Why can you not do that?
I don't know.
It's like, back in like 2004, you used to be able to buy the NCAA football game, and then how you played in that, you could port the draft rankings to your Madden NFL game. And I used to do that.
Yeah, so they had a career mode in the NCAA football games, and you could have like your individual character. You create a running back. You play 4 years at Texas, and then you buy Madden, and then you have your save file from the NCAA game. You put it onto your Madden game, and your player is now playing the career mode in Madden, and all of his stats from the NCAA game carry over, and his whole backstory and his whole life. It was incredible.
So you know how I just said I recently got a PS5? I was able to port over NHL 23 and my Red Dead, like all my save files, all of that. It just ported over. I picked it up as if I like stuck in a USB key back in the day. But for some reason, you're not able to spend $125 on a game and transfer over your information.
The amount of hours as a kid that I would spend in franchise mode, like my thing was playing every game. I believe like to have a true franchise mode, you're not allowed to sim the games. You got to play every game. I'm completely opposite now, but that's what my thing was as a teen, and I would get like 3 seasons in. That's 200 plus games.
That's it?
Oh,
dude.
like,
I got...
And playoffs.
And playoffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I must have got 8 or 9.
And I would
NHL 2001.
I would just love the ability to take that and have that roster save file. Obviously, I don't get all the new players and all that stuff, but if I want to stick in this little world that I created and I get it in the new game, I'll buy the new game.
I 1 year NHL 2001 played until there wasn't a single real player left.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that. See, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what it should be. It should be kind of fun like that. You should be able to do that. None of the EA games allow you to do that. Like I can tell you, the F1 games don't let you do that at all. You have to just start again. 240, they acknowledge something that people have been asking for years. Go ahead, Jesse.
Community wants, and then how can we get that into our product and into our game? Using spectator mode as an example, what we want to better understand with our community is what they want out of that feature, and then how can we build it so then we're actually delivering upon what they want,
So pause
rather
for a
than
sec.
us go.
Spectator mode is essentially you're in the crowd,
Yeah.
which is cool. But I think they should have it on the bench mode too. That's a good point.
You can join a game late. Like if you're just getting off work or whatever, you can join a game in the second period, watch everyone play, but you cannot join the game. You can only do spectator mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep going, Jesse, because it gets into something else.
It's not new.
No. Oh, spectator mode? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I thought it was new. Sorry,
They
my bad.
might have made changes to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like you can
Do you have like crowd animation?
I would love that. I think
and you can cheer.
I would love it. You bring your own sign.
Yeah.
Like you build your own avatar.
So it might be new. Like the way it worked in 23, to my understanding, is you can join and you basically just watch one of your teammates' feeds. But if this allows you to join the crowd, that's a little spicier take.
I think that's what I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. It could be wrong.
That'd be cool. And you could boo your team.
That'd be sick.
great.
EA owns The Sims. Every sports game they make should be integrated with The Sims.
Oh, yes!
Where you take your Sim player and they go to work.
They chant in Simlish.
I want to hear Ray Ferraro or who's it now? Cheryl Pounder.
Cheryl Pounder.
I want to hear her Radaduda Dimadaba. Like, there should be an option to have her speak Sim.
NHL 23 should just be an expansion pack for The Sims.
Yes.
Rabba-dabba! Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going?
Keep going.
From the same point?
Yep.
They over-engineer and design something that they don't necessarily want.
Yeah, nothing worse than building more than what people actually needed at the end of the day to satisfy that want or that desire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with GM Connected, that's something we haven't publicly addressed for a while now. But what we know, everyone requests it. So how do we get to a connected franchise mode?
Well, first of all, I'm glad we got the G word out in the open and on the table. So, we haven't been here that long. Like for the time that we've been here, we've been exploring numerous different ways to try to figure out how to get this mode revitalized, alive, and bring it back into the franchise. The one challenge, though, when we look back at what GM Connected was when it first came out, is it was a very big mode. And so trying to actually tackle this thing in a single year, it's really tough for us to do. So it's not something we know we can nail in a single cycle the way it was created in the past. If we twist away from the G word and talk about it in a different way, connected franchise is the way we're starting to think about this experience and modernizing it, changing it around, and figuring out again what those expectations are and figuring out what are the requirements, what are the things people really want to see in this mode so we reimagine it correctly. We're looking at different things too, like multi-year development paths, which give us a chance to tackle bigger things. It won't be in 24, but we're going to continue talking about it. This is sort of opening the conversation, and we'll continue talking about this topic in future as we go forward.
Okay, let's stop it there.
So GM Connected isn't in the game?
No.
Okay.
And I thought I'm glad they acknowledged it, but for those of us that, don't play the hockey games as much as we used to when we were kids, what was GM Connected? Why do people want it back so badly?
Jesse?
GM Connected is you could have a franchise mode with other people online. So with the three of us could start a franchise mode, and we each have a team, and we have all of our games on the calendar, and we're each playing franchise mode simultaneously in the same franchise mode at home in our separate consoles.
We can do that. We can do that with Formula One.
And it used to be in the NHL games.
Why would they get rid of that?
You could do that. I guess it was a little feature intensive, and they couldn't build it for the future games, but it looks like they're trying to work it back into the game.
Just leave it?
Well, so he's saying
it was pretty cool.
They
Don't
want to
even
bring
improve on it? Like, just leave it.
Yeah.
They're saying they're going to bring it back, but it won't be this coming year. And it sounded to me, anyway, like it probably won't be in 25 either. Because it sounded like it's like we're just opening the conversation now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird that this is such a big lift and he says it. Everybody in the community is asking for this feature. That would be my focus.
Yeah.
That's your one selling point.
That's such a good point. Like,
the gameplay is far better than it used to be.
Yeah.
The passing, it went from like, hey, just pass it across the crease to somebody score, whatever. And then they changed the passing, and the passing was terrible. And then they fixed. God. Remember that? Was it 15 or 16?
I can't remember
terrible.
what it was. It was unplayable.
And then they fixed that. And then remember the quartering used to be so slow too. Like if you.
That was 2013.
Oh, it's brutal.
They took 2012, which was one of my favorite games ever, to 2013 was.
Terrible.
I was trying to find
I hated it.
the last year that they had GM Connected mode, and it was 2013, 2014.
So people have been asking this for a decade.
It was only those 2 years in the history of the EA franchise that they had GM Connected, and it was so cool because it's this other level of fantasy hockey.
Yeah.
It's fantasy hockey on steroids, where you're doing it with 20. You could have 29 other people. A group of 30 people just play an NHL franchise mode together, and you're all cosplaying as GMs at once. It's incredible,
and you can make trades with each other.
Yeah,
and
you have a whole universe where you guys are your favorite teams playing GM mode together. And yeah, it was only those 2 years they had it.
That's bullshit.
They got rid of it.
That sucks. It's a bummer.
I wish I got to. I was invited to Vancouver, like that event that Nasher was at and everything, and I couldn't.
You couldn't go.
Couldn't justify
I
it.
couldn't justify the trip. We had Jesse and I had just gotten back from a secret thing.
John Boy.
That you know about, but that we can't talk about that much yet, but we will. Yeah, and then it was like literally get home, say hi to my family, go to Vancouver. I was like, I can't do that.
Right.
I wish I could have asked some of these questions.
It's interesting because it doesn't seem like it'll be a bad game. Like I think the community is the community. They'll be excited. And later on, we could get into it if you want to play it. If you could start the video at 420, well, it does talk about crossplay, so you can hit that part.
Cross-console play?
Yeah.
That social connection pillar, I've got to ask, how's crossplay coming along, as well as other social elements we're looking to add into the game this year?
Hockey is an incredibly social game. I think that's the beauty about it. And for us, when we think about our product and our game, we want to develop and start to ensure, well, not start, but we are ensuring that we've got connected experiences all through the game, where we have players interacting with one another, whether it's cooperatively or on a bigger scale when you have ESHL teams with 6 players on the ice versus another 6 on the other team. As we look ahead too, I mean, a strong focus for us is definitely building out the social elements in World of Chell, in ESHL, which then also translates and connects into our multi-year crossplay.
I don't know.
Sorry,
No one has ever called it that.
No one has ever called it.
I just wanted to know if you'd catch it.
Oh my god!
Even I know that, and I haven't played it in a few years.
My brain is like a magnadoodle right now. As soon as he said ESHL, shika, I don't remember a thing he said.
Right. Well, because it was a little bit corporate-y, right?
ESHL!
ESHL.
No one's ever called it ESHL.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
That you could keep playing it. Keep playing it.
I don't know if I want to.
No, keep going.
What is this?
Yeah, I mean, that story, we started that journey last year in 23. It was going to be too much again to do in a single cycle. So we said, okay, this is going to be a multi-cycle feature again, and that was just the reality. So last year we focused on, let's at least get the foundation in place, which is allowing people to have cross-platform matchmaking. So you weren't able to team up, but at least you could finally compete. And then for 24, it was like, let's complete the circle. So for 24, we're happy that we're actually going to be bringing true crossplay into World of Chell. So finally, you're going to be able to, if you're on Sony and I'm on Microsoft, we're going to finally be able to link up, be on the same team, and close that circle, delivering that expectation. So I'm happy that we've been able to do that for this year. And then, it doesn't stop here though, right? Like, we want to be able to continue to hammer on this social opportunity, find more ways for people to play, whether it's cooperatively or competitively in either existing modes we have, or there might even be new modes we haven't thought about that we add to the game to continue to push this social pillar forward.
You can pause it there.
So my idea, is that not exactly what they're going for?
That sounds a little bit like that.
Please do it. Please do it. Please. Which one's my camera? 3? Yeah, you got it. Please do it. Thank you, Maddie. Please do it.
Yeah.
Just call it dad mode. Call it whatever you need to, parent mode. Whatever. It allows me to leave the couch, leave the game for 5 minutes. And then think of all the ball busting. You could, I leave for 5 minutes and you guys give up a 3-goal lead. You bunch of bums. Here I come back to save the day. Come on, man. Come on. You have spectator mode. Give me the bench.
Yeah.
Give me the bench.
I thought you guys would find that interesting because it's just it's a deep dive into and these guys seem relatively new. They in the video, I don't know if this isn't. I don't think it's intentional, but they do seem a bit overwhelmed by the task at hand. It seems like the franchise is. I mean, to start and say we didn't deliver on expectations tells me the franchise is not in a good place.
They do come across like Gil from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Oh, Gil.
Oh, Gil's number's going to come up and we're going to have crossplay.
I want it to be good.
Listen, we criticize the NHL games. At the end of the day, it's still a very enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Year in and year out. People expect more. They do not have the budget that the other EA sports games have.
The problem with that is that a lot of people play the other games.
Yeah. And
if you look at the one I play is Formula 1, and the graphics and the change in driving this year, if you're using a controller versus a steering wheel, the controller is so much better now than it used to be. The weather is better. There's so much about a Formula 1 car that you have to tweak in that game if you want to go balls to the wall. And they have all that. And I know Formula One's like a bigger sport, but I still feel like at the end of the day, maybe they need to realize that everybody else is not just comparing this against last year's NHL game. They're comparing it with FIFA and MLB.
Can't.
And,
It's a little unfair.
and NFL. But
You compare
if the game grew,
I only compare it to last year's NHL.
you know that
Cannot-
hockey, but you know that's not how
hockey's
normal
not
people
popular
are.
I
enough.
know.
Hockey's
I know.
not popular enough.
It's just
like they
not-
don't sell enough copies of this game for it to be in this next tier of territory. It's not GTA. Like you can't compare it to
You're
that.
comparing NHL to Madden and FIFA. Like, let's have a serious conversation.
And
they're not
Madden's-
even close.
Madden's
not.
kind of ass this year.
Is it bad?
Is it?
Yeah, they didn't make
What
a good
happened?
Madden.
Yeah, and they probably spent $500 million to make it.
Right. Yeah, they spent maybe budgets have nothing to say over this. You know?
Maybe.
No matter how much money you have, maybe EA isn't going to make the greatest sports game.
Well, they make the best Sims games.
They do.
I bet they make way more money off Sims than they do NHL.
Puckdoku.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
did you say?
Sim speak.
Yeah, he knows Simlish.
Oh, I thought you were doing like a Puckdoku.
You know,
No,
that's
that's
too close to an
Puckdoku
actual-
was the. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't my best. It's
No.
hard to invent gibberish. On
what
the
did you
spot.
do more of this summer, Steve? Did you play more Puckdoku or watch Austin Matthews' goal supercuts?
Play Puckdoku actually.
Yeah, you're on it, eh?
Dude, it's addicting and it's takes forever. It's humbling. It's humbling. It has so all I look for all summer long is just ways to train my hockey brain, basically.
Oh, you're in training.
Oh, kinda.
Yeah.
Well, so
You're not Phil Kessel. Oh, I haven't put my skates on all summer.
Not me. Not me. I'm in the trenches, Adam. I still watched a bunch of goal comps. Let's be honest here. But Puckdoku forces you to use your brain.
It does.
And it gets me to dig into little nooks and crannies in there that I didn't know existed. Corbinian Holzer
did you do
was
today's?
on my mind in August.
Did you do today's?
Did I finish? I don't know if I finished today's.
Do you want Adam? Do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
right.
Let's go.
Are we doing? Okay, so
Steve can do it. Matt, you can throw it up on screen. There you go.
So
Can I-
my instant thought is Doug Gilmour, Canadian Sabres.
No, you want to go for a uniqueness.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people are gonna do Doug Gilmour.
Also, if somebody can do this for the audio,
Shot-
no, please. People are listening only; they cannot see what is.
Oh,
on the
okay. So
screen.
we got the first
Please
square
tell
is
them what is happening.
the Canadians and the Sabres. Excuse me. You're right, Jesse. Sorry about that. The first square is Canadians and Sabres. Josh Georges.
Also, people don't know what it is.
It's Puckdoku. Well, it's Sudoku. How you play that? I'm not going to explain how to play Sudoku because I always thought that was for nerds and I
Okay.
never touched it.
There's a
Freaking
grid with
nerds.
9 squares.
Yeah.
And you got to say a player that played for both teams or a player who played for a team and had the accomplishment that is listed. So
Right.
the teams we have are Vancouver, Washington, Buffalo,
And that's the
Montreal.
down.
Yeah, that's the vertical, whatever it is.
And then across.
The horizontal is Montreal, St. Louis, and drafted in the first round. So you got to find drafted in the first round for Buffalo, drafted in the first round for the Capitals, and drafted in the first round for the Canucks. So you want Josh Georges for Buffalo Habs. Mm-hmm. Do it. Punch it in. Oh,
You go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
All right. Adam, so help me. This better be good uniqueness. 12%!
Oh.
I thought that.
12 isn't bad. That's
not
Yeah, but Steve, I've seen you in like the 2%.
Who would you have given that to?
Well, so that's a hard one. So what I was realizing today is it feels like very often a Puckdoku is built around a single player
Okay.
because you come up with a player's name and you realize they can apply to almost every square. Habs Sabres, noted Alan Walsh client Yarrow Halak.
Oh, yeah.
Habs Capitals, noted Alan Walsh client Yarrow Halak. Habs Canucks, noted Alan Walsh client Yarrow Halak. Blues Capitals, noted Alan Walsh client Yarrow Halak.
Could you just put Yarrow Halak for all of them?
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
Can you
No,
do
but
it?
can
Is
you
that
actually do
allowed?
that? Is that allowed?
No, so you can only answer a player once.
Okay.
So
Pick a Halak one.
for Capitals Blues, I'm going to go with noted Alan Walsh client Nathan Walker.
Ooh.
2%.
There you go.
Outstanding. That's wow.
Let's go. So
He's the Australian.
yes, he is.
And he's a former guest on Agent Provocateur.
Yes, he is. So we can put Halak, I mean, basically anywhere, Adam. Where do you want to put him?
Well, where do you think we're gonna? I think we save Halak for a spot that we can't guess.
Where would he be the most rare?
Yeah.
I feel like no one remembers he was a Sabre.
I can't. I couldn't. I didn't remember
Did you
that.
say he was a Canuck?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
He was.
one.
Didn't he back up? It wasn't that 2 years ago. Canuck?
He backed up. Was it Braden Holtby?
Yeah, wasn't it? And then
it was a really forgettable
I would do
season.
Canuck Halak. I think that's more rare.
that's unique.
See, now here's the other problem that we often face. The Canucks are a Canadian team, and a lot of Canadians play this. So I intentionally avoid former Leafs when I can, because I know a lot of Leaf fans play this game. Former Habs as well. So it's what's it going to be, boys? It's okay. So we got Blues. Is it going to be Sabres or Canucks? My vote is Sabres.
Adam, you're the tiebreaker because I said Canucks. What do you want?
Shit, I already know a Sabre and blue. Fuck. Let's do Canucks. I'm going to say Canucks.
Who's yours?
Well, because a Sabre and a blue, but this will be picked is Ryan O'Reilly. That's an easy.
That's an easy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, and that won't be unique, right?
Right.
But what about Tage Thompson? Or whoever else was involved in that trade?
I forgot he was a Blue.
Well, yeah, you got traded with Ryan O'Reilly.
I feel like every Buffalo fan would know that.
Yeah, but how many Buffalo fans are playing?
Put him in.
Okay, we're gonna do Tage.
All right.
This one. can
Engage
fuck
the
us up.
Tage.
See.
13.
Sorry.
It's
better
so,
than-
So we'll do Halak for Blues Canucks.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure
gonna
this
be
is
crazy.
wonderful listening. I'm sure this is great. Boom. 8%.
That's not
All right,
bad.
Under
All right.
10. Under 10.
Especially with the Canuck thing. That's good. All right, now, Canadians Capitals. Who has played for the Canadians and the Capitals that is super unique that nobody remembered? Chad Kilger?
Chad Kilger. I don't remember him.
Try
playing
Chad
for either.
Kilger.
So, okay. Please don't be incorrect. I hate you.
Is it incorrect?
Yeah.
correct.
No,
Which incorrect counts for 100.
Oh. I don't know this shit. I don't
So-
know. We could have looked it up, guys.
So now,
No, that's cheating.
Why is that cheating?
here, I'll risk being wrong too, because I don't know if this is
Where
correct.
did Chad Kilger play?
Not there. I know. No. Wait, how do you spell Devontae?
Oh, it was just the Blackhawks. Okay.
How do you spell
Blackhawks, Leafs, Oilers, Canadians.
Devontae Smith belly?
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah, you spelled this so wrong.
Ah,
that was a good one. Wow.
Oh, wow.
So I answered that. I did not remember without a shadow of a doubt that he was a Hab. I knew he was a Capital, obviously.
It was for a
wasn't-
hot minute, though, wasn't it? It wasn't long.
It was not long.
Okay, Canucks. Played for the Canucks, played for the Canadians.
Have we answered Halak yet? Oh, yeah, we did.
Played for the yeah, that would have been a good one. Played for the Canucks, played for the Canadians.
There's also the first rounds.
Well, I know. I figured we'd get to
We'll
those
save
later.
that.
Those would be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys
I wish
got?
I remembered who I did. Did I even finish the game? I don't even know if I finished the game today. The problem is, like, I'll do it first thing in the morning like a psycho. And I'm like, why? Who does that?
Well, that's how you warm up your brain.
Canucks have.
Oh, you know who I answered? And I won't cheat by answering someone different. Trevor Linden.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's a good one.
And my hope is
Hold on. Naslin. Wasn't Naslin a Canadian?
Marcus?
Marcus Naslin.
No.
Hold
That's
on.
Max Naslin.
That's Matt
Max
Naslin?
Naslin. Jesse,
No,
do not.
no, do
you
not.
know
I'll
why?
put Matt's.
Why? We know it's wrong.
Is
But
it
we-
Matt's or Marcus?
It's neither. Marcus played for the Canucks. Matt's played for the Habs. Do not.
Hold on. No, let's find someone else. Let's not do
Why?
Trevor Linden. That's too. 8%.
It's good. Ish. It's from.
Adam, check your
I'm
Linden
checking.
thing.
I'm fucking checking.
You were going to be
Marcus Naslin.
incorrect.
I want to know. Oh, it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
I ought to beat you.
All right. Unique first round picks for the Sabres, Caps, and Canucks.
Darren Pupa for the Sabres.
Was he drafted in the first round by the Sabres?
Yes. And I know that because of something I had to research this summer.
Oh, incorrect! Incorrect, Steve Dangle!
Told you.
He was drafted by the Sabres, but he never played a game for them.
I was gonna say.
Wow.
I was gonna go easy with the Sabres first rounders because
Wow.
I don't know many of them, but like I was gonna say like Gilbert Perreault or something like that, like
Or like Middlestat.
or Middlestat.
I'm fucking pissed. This is a nightmare.
Yep.
I'm glad the segment is over.
Keep going.
No, do not keep going.
Yeah, no, we're done. That was bad.
Oh well.
That was bad.
That was
Yeah.
horrible.
Average score 7.5.
Okay, so
Oh, and our
you're
score was
7.
7.
Just a little below average.
So, okay, here are the most common answers. Josh Georges, fuck. Ryan O'Reilly, Jack Eichel for Sabres first rounder. Habs Capitals, Lars Eller. Blues Capitals, TJ Oshie. Drafted first round Capitals, Alex Ovechkin. Habs Canucks, Tyler Toffoli.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's right.
Blues Canucks, Ryan Miller. I don't know why that's surprising to me. And drafted first round, is that Henrik or Daniel?
It's one of.
It's difficult to tell.
Just write
like,
Sedin.
I feel like it looks like. Oh, it is Daniel. I thought it looked like Daniel.
So I like when you can go and you can see the most unique answer.
Yeah.
Bob Daly.
Brad Ferentz was a first round
Rick
pick.
Lands.
Wow. Bill Derlago, former Leaf. Michael Petit, also a former Leaf.
He was a first round pick of the. Oh, Bill Derlago was picked like 4th overall by the Leafs, right?
Jean-Guy
Talbot.
Talbot.
Daryl Shannon, I remember.
Pat Hughes. Larry Mickey.
See,
Brad
here's
Brown.
the whole point is no one remembers these. So like I don't even recognize a lot of these
Oh, Tom
names.
Curvers. That's former. That's
Who are the 3 people who said Daryl Shannon?
probably
Cheaters.
Sabres fans.
100%
Cheaters. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a lot of honesty you gotta pack
Show
in.
yourself.
Hey, the show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, listen, we talked about it before. Therapy is a very important part of all of our lives. And one of the things that I think happens this time of year, and I can remember it because I still get the feeling in my gut, is that it's not a school anxiety, but it's like a fall anxiety. Like, oh, the fun part's over. Now we got to get back to work, right?
Could you call it the summer scaries?
Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah.
I think you could.
A little bit.
One of the things that you're going to have to do is get back to your schedule, get back to the grind. And it's not always the most fun thing. And it's little stresses like that that can build up over time. And this is where therapy comes in great, because the things that you are afraid of, sometimes the best thing to do is just to say it out loud to somebody who's like a neutral party. That's what I've loved about therapy. That's why we think BetterHelp can help you. If you want to get a break from your thoughts, BetterHelp is definitely worth the try. It's convenient, it's flexible, it's suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime, no additional charge. And of course, the other way is, so not everybody feels comfortable looking at the person when they're talking, so it can be over phone, it can be over text. You can get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/SDP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/SDP. All right. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but David Kampf ran a marathon this summer, and he was wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs t-shirt,
Hey.
which is cool. So he has the passion. Phil Kessel to Toronto.
Stop.
Now,
Stop. Next segment.
Elliot Friedman did report that Phil Kessel wants to play. He's open to ending the Ironman streak, and you would expect him to be, right? It kind of makes sense. Like, if you want to keep playing, you can't have it both ways, right?
I mean, that's how Keith Yandel's ended.
right.
Ironman streaks very rarely get the ending you hope for. Because Cogliano
Oh, that was
hundreds
stupid.
and hundreds of games, and he got suspended.
Yeah, stupid.
Yandel was healthy scratch because I don't know,
He wasn't good anymore.
it wasn't good anymore.
But also the team he was playing for stunk, so it was kind of weird that.
Yeah, the guy who was scratched for, like, you could have just played him somewhere else in the lineup.
Yeah.
Phil Kessel was healthy scratch like 20 times in a Stanley Cup playoff run. Like, I don't know, that's kind of tough.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks.
Like, not to be a dick, but does anyone still count it? Like, it's legitimately an Ironman
It's a regular
streak.
season streak. That's where it exists. And I think we all agree that the NHL has 2 different seasons. They are regular season and playoffs. And they are completely different games from season to season.
But Phil Kessel played 4 playoff games this past playoffs,
Like,
you know?
when is it pushed to the breaking point? Okay, Kessel skates for 1 shift to keep the streak alive. That's cheeky. It was for the birth of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's awesome. I can get behind that.
All right.
But I mean, if he's open to ending it anyway, to me, it's ended. Like, it's done. He was healthy scratched in the playoffs, and he's open to ending it. That means it's done. Do you know what they should do? Healthy scratch him first game of the season.
Just get it out of the way.
Get it over
Yeah,
with.
you know what? He
Kill
should
it.
sign with the Blue Jackets then. Mike Babcock loves to scratch veterans. in the
Damn,
first
you're
game.
right. He should.
Uh,
I honestly, I think this would be the worst experience of Phil Kessel's life, but I think he should sign with the New York Rangers because they need help on the right.
They don't need to get older.
They are
don't.
pretty old.
That's true.
They've went from like a good little young core around a bunch of middle-aged guys to they're just old.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who's
And a couple of prospects that haven't worked out the way they hoped.
Yep.
yeah, like what's Kessel gonna sign for?
Oh, $750 grand.
Yeah,
He's gonna have to
man.
sign like league min and be a healthy scratch. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's PTO'd. I don't know if he's going to get a contract. I think he's going to have to earn. He's going to have to earn that.
so, every story I've ever heard a player tell about Phil Kessel, I'm just imagining him talking to his agent, going, "Fuck off with these PTOs. I'm not fucking doing it. Give me a contract or fuck off."
I bet that's how it's going to go. Now, a lot of people said, listen, the Iron Man streak started in Toronto. Wouldn't it be fitting if it ended here?
It's first game of the season. Sheldon Keefe, healthy scratch. And we do not give him the same treatment as we gave Mike Babcock.
Well, because it's different
'Cause,
circumstances.
yeah, it's completely different
I am
circumstances.
shocked he played all 82 games in Vegas.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Like looking back on the season and how good they were, he was in the game. He was in the lineup every single game.
And that's Bruce Cassidy.
And then when it mattered, they said, you know what? We're going to start our actual best lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
So what were you doing for 82 games?
So
Playing him 8 minutes a night.
the Toronto
Scored
stuff,
14 goals.
Yeah.
the Toronto stuff, it's not as silly as you might think. It's not going to happen, but it's not as silly as you might think because I feel like all 3 times he won the cup, he brought it here.
Yeah, he did.
He's not
He-
from here. He's
he-
not even Canadian.
I know, but he loves it here. He
But
played
he
the
loves
most
it here.
amount of his games in his career here, 441. And he, I remember when he even sold his condo, he took a picture from it. He's gonna miss this place. Like he loved it here.
Isn't the story like he used to tip the cleaning ladies like crazy?
I heard he ate a bunch of hot dogs.
And he ate
what I
a bunch
heard.
of hot dogs.
Every day
Oh my
after
God.
practice, he stopped it in one little. I remember with the way that story was written, like this punchy little beginning. Like,
Do you remember?
here's this fat little NHL player who scored 1 billion goals.
Stop.
But he's
I
not
already
fat.
love him. You
Yeah.
don't need to.
Remember when we went to the stand and got our hot dogs?
Yeah.
Before we recorded the pod that day?
I remember that, and I remember Justin Bourne was on either that day or a couple shows later, and he was like, big friggin' deal. Those guys burn like 1,200 calories a day. Like, who cares?
Also wasn't true.
It also wasn't true, which is also strange.
I saw a TikTok about like the diets of NBA players. Like
Oh, the candy
Candy.
obsession?
Yeah.
the
Dwight Howard.
You told that story years ago.
Yeah, way back when.
And you're like, well, that's why he keeps getting hurt. he has like 20,000 Skittles a day. Or
Yeah,
something
and then
like
there
that.
was a new one that came out was last week before about the NBA players and their candy obsession.
That's wild.
It is nuts. It's nuts. So you don't think Phil Kessel to Toronto makes sense, huh?
It does and it doesn't.
Would you get nostalgia vibes, or would you give a shit? Do you care? Are you beyond the nostalgia thing because we've seen that for 3 straight seasons and it's never worked? Like Spezza was the best example of it working. It worked out great with Jason Spezza. Wayne Simmons, I think, was a really feel-good story. And if he hadn't had that wrist injury that first year, he was on fire. You know, Thornton was a nice name to add, but he didn't his play was not great. Giordano's been good.
I think if your team has trouble keeping it light, why not bring in Phil?
I don't think the Leafs have that problem.
Yeah.
They might have a problem getting it heavy.
I mean, he might help keep it light in the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was always under the belief that Max Domi would never be a Toronto Maple Leaf because it would be too much having the Domi name back in Toronto.
I think
and
he's built for this.
And I thought they would always try and avoid that as an organization because that's kind of been the vibe of this tenure of Leafs since Tim Leiweke has been here onwards. It's been like no one is bigger than the Crest, and I thought bringing in a Domi to play in Toronto would have been against the ethos that the Toronto Maple Leafs have set.
And I'm
So-
surprised that he wants to be here long term as well.
Yeah. So
Why are you
now
surprised?
that they've
It's just it's a lot to live up to.
Okay.
Now that they've gone in this direction where they are bringing him in, he's going to sign here, and he signed here, and he might sign here long term.
He might get an extension the day after his first fight.
Right? He might go beat somebody up in the first period of the first game and sign a 8-year, 8 times 8, you know?
He'll violate the CBA. Fuck it.
So
we need
knowing that they're okay with this, I could see them maybe bringing Phil. I don't think anything is out of the realm of possibility with the Leafs now because they're doing something like this.
Now, Jesse, there's many fans of teams that aren't the Leafs, with Drew at the spearhead, are probably screaming, but they're $13 million over the cap.
Yeah, cap schmap.
Cap schmap.
Yeah,
I still don't
matter.
think they're done.
No, I don't think they're done either.
That decor is too weird. It's too weird.
The John Klingberg edition still does not make any sense to me unless he's completely overhauled his game this summer and has become defensively responsible, which I have a hard time believing.
Can I, like with John Klingberg, like, listen, number one, everyone has told me I'm going to hate watching him, and I believe you. I believe you that I will hate watching him. An offensive-minded defenseman, give the puck away constantly and be the result of many goals. Remember I made a video about Simone Benoit? And everyone was like, why the fuck did you make a video about Simone Benoit that 65,000 of you watched? By the way, you sick canines. Simone Benoit was John Klingberg's most
Played with partner
last year. And everyone's like, he's not an NHL guy. It's only because he was in Anaheim. Do we think that has anything to do with the fact that Klingberg stunk last year? You know what I mean? Like, I know he had his flaws in Dallas as well, and then he was traded to Minnesota halfway through. But we don't think Klingberg's numbers being beneath the Earth's crust had anything to do with he played with a sub NHL.
Well,
defenseman.
I think that for sure has a part to play
on the Ducks.
But you still should
Ducks!
be able to distinguish a good player from a not good player, even with advanced stats. That's the whole point of advanced stats, is to find the diamonds in the rough. And
yeah, but dude, if you put this is an honest question. You put Connor McDavid on the Ducks, so they make the playoffs?
well, he looks sadder than he already looks.
Probably.
Connor does have a sad resting face. I'm not saying he's sad, but he does have like a I'm upset look.
Yeah.
Could Connor McDavid drag the 2022 Anaheim Ducks to the playoffs?
No.
That's a good question.
I think it's a great question.
And I think it's a no.
I think it's a no.
But
I don't think there's
they'd
enough
be-
defense and goaltending to make up for.
Dude, they were garbage.
They were bad.
Really, really bad. Is there a right-handed defenseman in the NHL that could have gotten the Ducks to the playoffs? Like, so forget McDavid. Could Cale Makar have gotten the Ducks to the playoffs?
No. Not one single player is turning that team around.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And with respect, John Klingberg's not that guy. Mm-hmm. There was a time where we thought, maybe he's got shades of that. No, not even close.
They had less than double-digit regulation wins by the end of January.
They were the worst team in the league. I don't care what the standings say.
I want to see how
Did
much
they finish
finished.
that? No, it was Chicago, right?
They finished with regulation wins 13.
Fuck!
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah.
You know there's 82 games, right? Look at the goal differential!
They had 13 wins in regulation.
And they still
people
didn't
said
get the
I
first overall
overreact-
pick.
Yeah, and people said I overreacted to the Leafs blowing a 3-1 lead and losing to them. Absolutely not! They stunk!
Yeah, they're
Boo!
trash. Wow.
Yeah, Connor McDavid isn't helping that.
No. I mean, he's helping. He's helping.
He's
Maybe
helping.
The goal differential might be like closer to Arizona's at -71. If Connor
You still
McDavid's on
would've
that
got,
team.
McDavid's defensive metrics.
Oh, they're terrible. You
guy's
know
got
what? Needs to be
150
a student
points.
of the game. Needs to be a student of the game like Ovechkin.
They finished the season 0-8-2 as well. They
Oh
just
my God.
gave up by the end of it.
I have never seen a team who loved hockey less.
They were
than the after Christmas Anaheim
They were
Ducks.
depressing to watch. Like even, you could see it on Dallas Egan's face. It was like I know I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that Sportsnet panel in round 2 or round 1 because that's going to be the most fun I have this year.
They had 82 games and about 50 public skates. It was terrible.
Jesus.
It was terrible.
50 public skates.
Dude, they were terrible.
They left Zegras a lot of time to spend with Dixie.
Their top scorer didn't hit
Not
70
that
points. Hey, Dixie, let's go. Yeah, well, in the spring for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Well, how did we get here?
I'm just chatting away. Phil
It's
Kessel.
all right. If it seems like we're out of practice, we are. There you go.
It seems like Twitter is down, and it's a shame because I had something that I was going to use, but I have to pull it directly from Twitter
What is
or
Twitter,
X,
Adam?
I think it's good for
Yeah, it's
society.
and it's down, so I can't pull it. But we'll save it for tomorrow's show because we have a show coming tomorrow. Also, I wanted to ask you guys a quick thought. It's sort of gone away now, but James Harden coming out and calling Daryl Morey, the president and general manager of the Sixers, who also had him in Houston, a liar, and that he would never play for him again. I just thought, it's kind of crazy how dramatic the NBA can be. And if that was if somebody said that in hockey, that was star or a star on the wane, like James Harden is, I feel like it would be the story for the year. Whereas that's just the story of the week in the NBA.
I'm trying to think, and this is the worst thing, but I'm trying to think of an NHL equivalent.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Twitter's back up. I'm gonna run this thing.
Whoa.
Isn't that I don't think I've ever heard of that. Brett Hull used to be like that. If you look up some of the old Brett Hull quotes, especially stuff he used to say about Mike Keenan, crazy stuff.
Yeah, but everyone's screw that guy.
And into the dead puck era, he's like, the NHL game's so boring now. It's so boring. I can't believe how boring it is. And he was the guy saying it, and everybody's like, oh, Brett, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff with him.
Yeah,
but,
he was very correct.
This is what I wanted to bring up, and I've been saving some of these links for a long, long time. Wednesday, August 9th, 2023, the Arizona Coyotes, out of nowhere. Because remember, at the end, 2 months ago when we were ending our last season, the Arizona Coyotes were a massive story. Why are they going to have an arena? Are they going to move to Kansas City? Are they going to move to Houston? What's going to happen?
Yeah, because the new arena they wanted to build got denied, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So
sometimes there's so much news, there's none.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at that team. I'm
okay,
come to me when you have something solid.
Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. The Arizona Coyotes issued the following statement today. By the way, I don't know why they needed to say that because they already had the date and it said for immediate release. And then the first line of the press release on the Coyotes website is the Arizona Coyotes issued the following statement today. So that's the point of the date at the top of the statement. But anyway, we can confirm that Coyotes owner, chairman, and governor Alex Morello has executed a letter of intent to purchase a parcel of land located in Mesa, Arizona, to be the potential site for the sports arena and entertainment district for the club. The Coyotes remain committed to building the first privately funded sports facility in Arizona history and ensuring the Valley as the club's permanent home. In addition to this property in Mesa, the club will continue to explore other potential sites in the East Valley. So a letter of intent.
Yeah,
that's like a promise ring in terms of real estate.
Is it right next to the monorail?
Well, here's where it gets.
Don't be mean.
This is where it gets wild. We appreciate the tremendous support we've received from many communities, elected officials, community leaders. Also want to thank Gary Bettman and Bill Daly for their steadfast support, blah, blah, blah. And the recognition that Arizona is a tremendous hockey market, which it could be.
Yes.
It could be. The fact that they have fans at all means it's tremendous.
Yes.
This is where I just thought, I'm like, what are they doing? This reads to me like Libya in the mid-90s in terms of just some random autocrat who's like, our country is the best in the world.
Libya.
Our incredibly loyal and passionate fan base is extremely excited about our team with the incredible additions we've made this summer, including Matt Dumba, great addition, by the way.
They have made some really good ones.
Jason Zucker, Alex Kerfoot, Nick Bustad, Troy Stetcher, and Sean Dursey, and the top prospect in the world, Logan Cooley.
Sorry. Did they put the top prospect in the world?
Yes. Our incredibly loyal and passionate fan base is extremely excited about our team and the incredible additions we've made. So there's incredible is in that twice, which you shouldn't do. Our incredibly loyal and passionate fan base is extremely excited about our team and the incredible additions made this summer, including Matt Dumba, Jason Zucker, Alex Kerfoot, Nick Bukestad, Troy Stetcher, Sean Dursey, and the top prospect in the world, Logan Cooley.
Does Connor McDavid not exist?
He's
or Connor
Bedard.
Oh, sorry. It's Connor McDavid. Connor Bedard.
They both do, Jesse.
Yeah.
No, listen, Logan Cooley's going to be really, really good. He is. He's going to be a star.
Top prospect in the world.
Top prospect in the organization.
No, he's in the world.
But Bedard.
No.
fucking shut up.
In order to ensure our fans and fans in waiting can experience mullet magic and the most exciting environment in the NHL, the Coyotes are very pleased to make available a number of single game tickets starting this Friday, August 11th. We will have no further comment at this time.
Here you go. The Arizona Coyotes are semi-justified in making their statement. Elite Prospects ranks the top prospects in the NHL, and they are going with Logan Cooley, Luke Hughes, Shane Wright, and Simon Nemec.
Where is Bedard?
So there you go. They don't count Bedard yet, I guess, based on where the prospects end at the end of last season, so the new ones haven't come in yet, so you don't count Bedard.
That is a real splitting of the hairs.
This is top prospects in the NHL. Elite Prospects ranks Logan Cooley number 1.
And that's great for Logan because I think he deserves it. But
this came out in August?
I don't know. It's their rankings as of right now.
Yeah, and the press release from the Coyotes came out August 9th.
There you go.
We give the Coyotes...
They're getting very specific with it.
We give them far more airtime than they deserve.
It's pretty much... I just thought that was pretty...
like...
Yeah.
Hockey in Arizona should exist.
Yes.
They should have an NHL team. It is a great market. It is just about finding an arena situation that works for the entire fan base and can sustain a long 20, 50, 100-year run in Arizona. But they have not found it yet.
No, Jesse, they have. They have intended via letter to find it.
I hope one day they find it. I hope it's in Scottsdale. That'd be the most fun.
The golf.
From an outsider looking in, it'd be cool if it was in Scottsdale. But they'll find it hopefully one day.
What's the thing CJ said? I thought it was brilliant. It was like if they were to take the Coyotes away from Arizona, the next market up for the NHL to look for an expansion team would be Arizona.
Yes. That's why it makes sense to keep doing all this stuff to make it work. Because a team should be there.
Literally get a fucking building.
Get a plot of land.
No. How about write your intent to buy a plot of land? Could I do the same thing?
Yeah, you just intend it.
How much would it cost for me to also write a letter of intent to buy land in Mesa?
Well, it depends on... You probably want a real estate lawyer to do it.
Okay.
And if you're going for like a partner level to write a letter, it's about $500 an hour. But if you want like a junior associate, you could be to like $100 to $150 an hour. So it costs you $150.
Oh, shit.
Because you don't need a partner to write a letter of intent. Junior lawyer should be able to do that.
All right, look out, Coyotes. I'm coming. No, you think you're putting the arena there? Nuh-uh.
Steve Dangle also intends to write.
Who's excited for the new go-kart track?
In Mesa.
I
love it.
Wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyway, I just thought that was a press release that deserved a quick look. And no disrespect to Logan Cooley or any of the incredible additions. It just seems to be like it's a little bit of a puff piece.
Logan Cooley would be like me.
Yeah.
Like, listen, 3rd overall pick from 2 years ago. He's going to be extremely, extremely good. But Connor Bedard is, I'm fairly certain, not a human. I think he might be from space.
Let's do the press conference for the first time this season. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. To give some more credence to the Arizona Coyotes rankings.
Stop.
Rachel Dory's top 5 drafted prospects in the NHL right now. If you take out everybody from the 2023 draft, so you take out Bedard, Fantilli, Michkov, and Leo Carlson.
That's not how it works, guys.
Logan Cooley is number 1.
So if you take out all the guys ahead of Logan Cooley, he's number 1.
Well, if you count it from the day before the 2023 draft and you're ranking top prospects drafted,
We're not.
Logan Cooley is number 1.
I hate these guys. I just fucking... Please shut up. Please get a building.
Do you have a problem?
I don't have a problem at all.
All right. Let's go, Jesse.
Steve Dangle's official ranking of the top prospects in the NHL.
I do. Actually, I want Steve and the hockey guy to go head to head, and I want to know who ranks Logan Cooley higher. Ooh. Is he number 1 or is he 1+?
He's top 5.
Yeah, he for sure is.
But
he's above number. He's clearly the greatest prospect in the world.
No.
Okay, Jesse.
Is Logan Cooley the greatest NHL player ever?
Already,
he might be.
Yeah.
Let's
for
consider
it.
For sure.
All
right, this is from
that. By the way, that arena in Mesa that they intend to build is already the greatest arena in the NHL.
Oh,
it's a top prospect arena. Top prospect of all arenas. I intend to make it good. I intend to enjoy it.
This
I
question.
can't wait for the Leafs to go 0-2 against them.
Yeah, we're just gonna get dunked on.
Oh my God.
I asked for questions on Twitter. You guys responded. So this one's first up from Daniel Burt at Mr. Teacher Guy 34. What's your highlight of your summer? Adam, start at the end, work our way down.
Highlight of the summer. Well, I guess today was pretty cool, but I guess it's not technically summer. I mean, it's technically summer, but you know what I mean. Like once Labor Day's over, it's like we're into the school year. Highlight of the summer. I think to be honest with you, it was the amount of time I got to spend with family because I've been doing that, the morning thing, be TV or radio forever. I actually got to see my family this year, and I got to sleep a little bit, and I feel like rested and ready to go and excited and pumped for hockey. It's the first time in a long, long time that I felt that way. So I think that was, for me, selfishly, just the schedule change was amazing. Ooh. It's not that we didn't work, because we worked behind the scenes, but
yes.
It was just nice to not have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Right, eh?
Which sucks. It just sucks.
It does. It shouldn't be allowed.
It shouldn't be allowed. No, it sucks.
Shouldn't be allowed. You want me to go next, Jersey?
Yeah.
It was just like there's not one moment, right? Like you win an Oscar. Mm-hmm. Oh, you love me. You really love me. Spent a lot of time in the water. Did some kayaking.
That was the next question.
Did some kayaking.
That was the next question from Plum Pappy. Did Steve use his kayak once this summer?
Several times.
Good.
Got on the paddleboard too. And here's I'm genuinely proud of this accomplishment because between being 35 overweight and my back is shit.
Yeah.
I've rebuilt my back to a point where I was able to go on a paddleboard with Leo, sitting on the paddleboard and just going around. Didn't fall off once. Bone dry.
Love it.
Yeah, so I was very happy about that. That kid has no fear of the water. Loves swimming. Got to spend a lot of time with him doing that. And Sir Louise's family, some of them came over from Scotland.
Oh, I love that.
So
It's your turn next year to go over there, right?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Never been on a flight with Leo.
Oh, yeah. The child flight.
He's never been on a plane, right?
I don't think he's been on a train.
He's been on the GO train.
I don't think so.
You guys have been to Jays games?
We drove.
Oh, both times?
Yeah, because I don't even know if
what?
I don't even know if we told you this. So I missed Leo's first Jays game, which was last summer, to go to Adam and Natalie's not wedding.
I was there. Was I not?
At the Jays game?
You guys gave me Jays tickets because you couldn't go.
No, that wasn't it.
That was supposed to be Leo's first game, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
And we couldn't go. And then his actual first game, I was getting home from Vegas. Sorry, Henderson.
Of course.
Then I had to go to Adam's not wedding. But this year we drove because it's a 3-year-old. You never know what's going to happen with a 3-year-old. Dude, we're driving down Front Street. We're right in front of your old place. And he's just like, I need to go poo.
Oh.
And we happen to have the potty in the car.
Oh, thank God.
So this kid is just,
Is it like the middle of like a park or something nearby? It wouldn't be any. I mean, listen, that
right by the park.
Well,
yeah.
that park, a lot of people shit in that park. I'm not gonna lie.
So he rocks a dump right in the back of the car.
Oh no! In the car?
Well, what were we gonna do?
Just do it out in the park.
The potty on Front Street?
Sure, why not?
Absolutely not.
Just blanket around.
Absolutely. I didn't have time to like build him something.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
So here, wait. This is I think
Leo
That's so
shit
gross.
in his potty in the car.
In the car. He did it more than once this summer too. Twice.
Adam, are we gonna tease him about this when he's like 18?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That's going on
wait,
a wedding
it gets better.
speech.
It gets better though. It gets better. So he takes a dump. We have doggy bags, thank God. Or no, we didn't have doggy bags. So you know what we did? I went into my glove box. The manual for the car was still in the plastic bag.
So you used the plastic bag. I thought you used the manual. I was like, shit.
No. So we put the all of that in the plastic bag. I'm walking over to the garbage can and I hear from behind me, Steve. And I go, oh, Jesus Christ. I turn around and it's Stephen Ellis from the Hockey News.
Oh,
and he's with someone and he extends his hand to shake mine. And I go, no. Because we hadn't met before. And I'm like, you don't want to shake my hand.
I'm not going to be poopy fingers with you. It's always awkward when you have to do that, by the way. And you're like, you have to turn down a handshake. It's weird.
And I was like, sorry, I'll explain later. And so, like, on the way home, I'm like, Mike Stevens. I was like, I need Stephen Ellis' phone number so I can explain why I didn't shake his hand in front of his friend. So, yeah, it was a great summer.
I like that. Jesse, what about you? Do you have anything did you shit in a car? Or?
No.
Shit in a car? Call William Matar.
Shit in a potty on Front Street.
It's freeing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I would never. Oh, Toronto's so filthy. Absolutely not. No, I couldn't imagine. There were no good options.
Vacation in the Bahamas was fun, but like we did some fun content this summer, which is kind of different because you're usually not free to do stuff like that, you know.
The golf.
With your Sportsnet stuff. And Adam, I hope you can make it out next year or the next one that we do.
I'm such a bad golfer.
But I was even that I'm talking about, like, we went to John Boy and we were in one of the
I want to do that
in the warehouse.
Yeah,
Steve and I went to go do that. That was unreal. The time we had there, and even like up until end of August, Steve came out to one of the Jesse verses that we shot where we have Coach Jeremy and Hayden, who's their producer on their podcast, with also Chippy.
Mm-hmm. Coach Chippy.
Just shooting that kind of stuff was a lot of fun and doing more of that stuff. So that'll come out in the next 2 weeks-ish. But
I like that.
That was
Chippy,
so funny.
Jeremy content coming.
Because you're like, oh, Steve, we're going to golf in Ajax. You want to come? Like, even for a little bit? I was like, yeah, sure. Who'd you get? And you're like, oh, Coach Jeremy, Hayden, and Coach Chippy. I'm like, what the fuck?
By the way, for anybody that's asking, and there are going to be people that ask why we didn't cover the Bill Peters thing today, I thought it was beautifully covered by Jesse and Julian. So
thank you.
That's the episode I want you to go to talk about it. I think you already know how we feel. I think Julian summed it up perfectly. His article for The Athletic was amazing. But also I think when he and Jesse had that conversation, I think it's important to say there's a reason we're not touching it because they already hit it and they did a better job than we ever could.
Yep.
So
and also the women's league.
Well, so interestingly, are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. No, that they're recorded today, so
there.
I don't know when it's going to come out. It might drop tomorrow morning or this afternoon, whenever they want.
Here's what's different though, because Carell apparently, I was talking to Liz on the phone, Liz Knox, last week, and she's like, "Do you know that Carell called me and said I'm going to drive to Toronto to do that episode?" So instead of doing it like over, whatever a lot of us have done episodes forever, they are going to be in the same room. And I think it's the first time they've ever done that.
Yeah, first
I think so.
So they're answering your questions.
For Noxie and Cax.
Yeah, wow. It's going to be cool.
New Noxie and Cax. Go subscribe to that on your favorite podcast feed. If you're not subscribed already, if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, go do that. Subscribe to Jesse Blake Sports Report on your favorite podcast feed as well if you want to hear that episode with myself and Julian McKenzie talking about the whole Bill Peters incident. And we'll move on to the next question from Andrew Finney. Andrew said, what is Adam Wild's new favorite team going to be this year?
New favorite team.
So you got to drop the Devils?
Are you dropping them? They're asking.
You can't just drop the Devils like that. Well, so here's the thing. The Devils thing came out of I didn't believe in them. And then they just tore it up and had like that 15-game winning streak that the Leafs ended that maybe they shouldn't have.
The Ducks are going to start 10-0. Yeah.
I have to know. You know what? Let me do a little more research and break because we're going to do our season previews in like a month. And, at a certain point, you got to go, do I believe in this shit or do I not believe in this shit? The Devils are like an easy team to believe in at this point. They've proven it. So who's the next team up that you're like, everybody's like, they're going to be good. And I'm like, nah. And then if I'm wrong, then I have to cheer for them. That's difficult. I don't know. Because I actually, like, you could say like the Sabres, but I actually think they're going to be very good.
No, I don't think there's anyone out there like, no, the Sabres stink. It's the first time in a long time no one's thought that.
I could have brought this up too, but the Sabres are now cutting off Leaf fans, I guess. They're talking about, only allowing people from certain zip codes. Zip codes are American, by the way.
Who do you think sells Leafs fans the tickets.
It's Sabres fans, I know. And the other thing about
It's
it
not
is
gonna
that there's a
change
ton of Sabres fans in Southern Ontario.
Yes.
And you're
yes.
cutting them off.
Yes.
It's weird.
I assume like the zip code thing would include the Niagara region. Like I assume they wouldn't.
I would hope so.
Alienate those people who just cross the border and come to the game.
Because like all the way up to St. Catharines, it's Sabres, Detroit, and Leafs, right? So
right.
I don't know. Anyway, it seems like an odd.
But if you got like an M5V, I think they're Xing you out. Okay.
That's why, like, you get really, really, really passionate Leaf fans from like Windsor, and the reason is because they're overwhelmed by Red Wings fans, right? So you probably have really, really, really passionate Sabres fans down there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Any other questions, Jess? What do we got?
Yeah. Next up, let's go to this one from JK Takes. JK Takes says, "When is Steve's PP? I mean, prospect pyramid, of course, coming out. Steve, when you dropping your PP?"
Well, haven't fuck. I haven't thought about it yet. It obviously needs to be soon, because it needs to be before the season, ideally before the preseason. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I fly by the seat of my pants. Soon, probably within the next 2 weeks. There you go.
Okay.
I love it. All right.
I think we're good on questions.
Yeah, because we need more for tomorrow. Because guess what? We're back tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a ton of questions. We can do a lot more
Yeah,
tomorrow.
so we'll do a bigger questions thing tomorrow because I don't expect a ton of hockey news to break overnight, but you never know. So we'll be back tomorrow. CJ Show will be making its debut Thursday. We don't know when Noxie and Cax is going to be out, but I would imagine it's this week.
Tonight or tomorrow.
Tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, SDP back on Friday, and we are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays all season long, with the exception being long weekends where we'll do a Tuesday or something like that.
We also got to figure out what the schedule is going to be when I'm in Sweden.
Have you booked?
No,
Oh.
but I'm looking into it.
Are you going to shit yourself on the side of the road in Sweden?
No, in the
I'm
car.
ruling it out. Like, why wouldn't I?
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.